Hello YouTube and welcome to a new Techsloth video. It's time for my review of the HTC U11 Live, the Android One device from HTC. We will go now into the close-up and then go through every category. How well is the device built? How good do I think feels the acrylic glass, or it's a plastic device? How good is the display? Brightness, viewing angles. How good is the speaker? How good are the cameras? Two 60 megapixel cameras, one on the back side, one on the front side. How well is the performance? We got a Snapdragon 630 in combination with 3 GB of RAM. Yes, I know there's also a version with 4 GB of RAM, but I think at least here in Europe you only get this if you buy the device directly at HTC themselves. How good is battery life? I've already got my notes. How good is the other stuff? Speakers, fingerprint sensors, HSense, this thing you can press here, other functions. And then we got the discussion about the price and alternative devices. But now let's go into the close-up. And just for your guidance, the HTC U11 got a 5.2-inch screen. This is a Xiaomi A1, a 5.5-inch device, also with Android One, and this is just the Honor 9. So those are really close to each other on size. This is a little bit bigger, but in terms of thickness, the HTC U Live is the one with the thickest case or the thickest housing. I had to get used to the case because HTC is calling this acrylic glass, but it's just plastic. It looks really nice, but as you can already see, you get fingerprints all over the device in seconds. So even if you rub it clean, after, I don't know, 20 seconds, there will be fingerprints again all over the case. The design is nice. You get this blue shimmering thingy. Also the black version is nice. On the black version you can see the fingerprints less, but this plastic case is also, you get scratches in here really easy. Down here I got already plenty of them. Let's clean it a little bit. And so you can see there are really a lot of scratches. I would count those scratches in the whole backside, at least 20 of them. In maybe 2-3 weeks. I used the device 1 week. Other reviewers used it a little bit before me. So keep in mind, the device looks nice, but number one, it feels plastically. Number two, it's a fingerprint magnet. And number three, it scratches really easily. So definitely get it into your hands if you can operate, if you can live with the feeling of the device, because compared to devices built out of aluminium or glass, this just feels cheap, or at least cheaper. So front side is the same. We got a home button with fingerprint sensor. We got illuminated back and app switch buttons. I can operate the device with my right thumb with ease. So by operating, I mean the on-off button and the volume bar. If I'm a lefty and I want to use this with my, operate the volume bar with my left index finger, turning the volume up can be a task here and there. So, but overall, it's okay. Build quality, no, this is nothing I'm going to pay 350 to 400 or 350 to 380 bucks for. This feels, it's not the device I like having in my hands for that kind of money. Nevertheless, build quality seems okay if you think having this plastic feeling is okay. Next step. Oh, another thing. One thing that really freaks me out. This is not the USB-C port. This is the speaker. This on the right side is the USB Type-C port. So it's okay that we got one, but it's not symmetrically built into the middle. It's on the right side. HTC did this before with the HTC A9, I believe. And the USB Type-C port is only USB 2.0. And there's no wireless charging, and there is no headphone jack. So these are the things I just want to tell you first. And there ain't no dual SIM versions, only single SIM, but you can put also in a micro SD card additionally to the 32 GB storage, or if you pay more, 30 bucks more gives you then 4 GB of RAM instead of 3 GB of RAM, and double the storage, 64 gigabytes you get with a more expensive version. Next step about the display. 5.2 inch full HD resolution. It's sharp enough. It's around 433 ppi, pixel per inch. Colors are nice, but viewing angle are okay. They could be better, and color stability, if you look from the side, could also be better. But still, for a device around 350 euros, it's still okay. Brightness level, maybe can be better. One nice thing to keep in mind, the brightness level is here not really high. It's okay for our now dark winter month here. But compared to the HTC flagships, the HTC U11 Plus, the U11 Live gets brighter. This is one tiny thing. I guess this is the display brightness is one of the biggest weaknesses of the HTC U11 Plus. But this is all about the Live, and the display is okay. Could be better, but still is okay. What's not okay is the speaker. Speaker quality is awful. HTC is, I don't want to say famous, but you are expecting three things from HTC. A fast device, yes. Good camera, or in the days of the HTC One M7 or M10, or now the new flagships, camera quality is great. But I would say what you expect is it's a little bit more on the pricey side of Android devices. It got this new fancy design, and you were expecting another thing, and this is a good speaker quality. But no, the U11 Live does not come with a boom sound technology. So no stereo sound, no really good speakers on the phone. No, forget it. You only get this tiny speaker down here, and it sounds not good. You don't get any heights, you don't get any bass. You can turn it up to 65% higher. You don't want to listen to it. It gets loud enough if you don't care about the sound quality. If you are taking a shower in the morning and you want to listen to the radio and get your news, it's okay. Yes, it gets loud enough. But if you're sitting on your desk, if you're watching a Netflix video, if you want to game, you don't turn this up over 65%. And this is just only normal sound quality or normal volume. You don't get any quality sound out of here. And I don't mind. I'm thinking about Bluetooth speaker quality here or anything fancy. No, I'm talking about normal standard smartphone speaker quality. And no. Speaker is not good. Definitely. It's okay. It's below okay. You can live with it, but don't expect this. Don't get in here with your high HTC boom sound expectations. Another thing, I mentioned that the HTC U Live does not have a headphone jack. And another thing, it does not even come with a USB Type-C to the headphone, to the 3.5mm headphone jack adapter. No, you're paying 350 to 380 euros or bucks or whatever, or dollars, and you don't get this adapter. HTC is selling you the adapter for additional 13 bucks, and this is something I don't understand in this price range. What you get are in-ear headphones with the device. Yes, you get in-ear headphones. They cost around 40 bucks if you would pay them separately, and they are nice. If you like in-ear headphones, if you like those in-ear pieces, then this is really a plus, because those two things can do two things. First of all, they got some type of sonic technology that will measure your in-ear and then adjusts the speaker and the audio quality or the audio signal to your individual ear layout. And this sounds nice. And the second thing is they get active noise cancelling, and this works good. And it's not as good as if you got over-ear headphones like the Bose or like Sony headphones for a couple of $100. No, but still, this is a decent quality and a decent noise cancelling quality if you like to wear in-ears. So this is definitely thumb up, but the speaker quality and the missing of the headphone jack and that we don't get an adapter is definitely a thumb down. Next step, camera. Cameras. We got two. One 60 megapixel on the front, one 60 megapixel on the back side. If you're outside in bright daylight, you get good quick pictures, and you get pictures you don't have to think about. You don't have just take the device out, take a picture, and it's good. If you got low light, forget it. Then this quality is as bad as the camera on a 200 euro device. So if you got enough light, good quality. If you got not enough light, definitely bad quality. And this is something, yes, the quality is better than on those devices that cost 200 to 250 euros, definitely. But if the light is okay, but if the light not okay, this camera isn't better than those devices. Just keep that in mind. You don't get any optical image stabilization on the video side. Decent video quality if you got enough light. Colors are a little bit too strong. No video stabilization, but you get normal audio record quality. This is okay. You can live with the camera, definitely. Front side, yes, you can take your selfies. This is definitely not the same quality or not the same camera that they have built on the back side, but it's okay for your selfie here and there, an Instagram thingy, for your social media, if you're going to use this on WhatsApp or whatever you do, Facebook. Yes, you can use it, but don't expect the same quality from the front-facing camera as from the back-facing camera, even though both got 16 megapixel. You can record videos with 4K with the back-facing camera, yes, but only for 6 minutes. Another thing I don't get with the device, because it shouldn't overheat. The Snapdragon 630 should be sufficient enough. It's not overheating. I don't know why they let you take longer 4K videos. Now let's talk about the performance. The performance is normal for 3 GB of RAM Snapdragon 630 device. So if you're browsing the web, if you're switching between apps, if you are starting some games, yes, bigger games start longer to load, but even though the 3 GB of RAM are sufficient enough to storage your game, to pause your games and then return later to them. Video quality is nice, but keep in mind this is only the Snapdragon 600 quality, not comparable to the 800 quality. So in terms of graphic details, and here and there you get a little lag if the video game is too intense. If you're just using this for your normal big apps, no problems here. But keep another thing in mind. This device costs around maybe 100 to 150 euros more than your other Snapdragon 625, 626 devices. It comes with a 630 Snapdragon. So, but this device will give you the same everyday performance or video game performance or daily usage performance as the devices that cost 150 euros less. On the other side, if you pay 150 euros more, you are definitely you get definitely a complete other usage scenario. You get a totally different experience from those devices with the Snapdragon 800 generation. This is a thing that you have to keep in mind here. So this is even not halfway between those worlds. No, this is definitely in this world and not in this world, and definitely not in between those worlds. I hope you get what I want to tell you, or what you can expect of this device and of the performance. It's okay, it's decent, but you get the same experience from the cheaper devices. Another thing that you have to keep in mind. Now, what about the battery and battery life? The U11 Live got built in a 2600 milliampere battery. This is a little bit less from the standard around 3000 milliampere hours battery we are used to in devices, not on only 5.2 inch, but also on 5.5 inch devices. Now, in our everyday usage scenario, if you watch Netflix for 1 hour with brightness level set on automatic, it consumes 15%. If you now turn up the brightness level of the screen to 100% of brightness, you consume 33% of your battery. This is huge. This is a huge number. If you're now using the device normally, auto brightness, you're doing, of course, your normal web browsing, you do your WhatsApp, your Facebook, your social media, you here and there maybe you play a little game for a couple of minutes, you watch a video for a couple of minutes. So just this every daily mix you do with your smartphone, this takes 16% out of the battery. If you're now going to just read stuff, comic books or just ebooks, it takes 14%. Now, if you're going to charge the device from 10% to 100%, it takes above 2 hours. And not, I don't mean only 2 hours and 5 minutes, more like 2 hours and 20 minutes or so. So keep this in mind. So battery life is definitely not that good. It's enough to get you through a day, to a standard day, if you use it normally. And maybe if you don't use it that much, you get it through the next half day. And if you really do not that much with the device, you get to the second evening, to the evening of the second day. Yes, but nothing more. Battery life is definitely not on one plus. It's not the downside, but it's close to. I would say it's just neutral. It's okay. I hope you get what I mean. Don't have too high expectations on the battery. It's okay to get you through the day, but nothing more. And don't think about fancy things like opening a hotspot with the device for a couple of hours. No. So what else? Oh, we got some features. Number one, we got the fingerprint sensor, which is okay, but the reaction of Android One or of the system is slow. Because the fingerprint sensor, in an instant, the fingerprint sensor recognizes if the fingerprint is good or if it's bad. Now it's in the second, it's or in a fraction of a second, it says no. If I unlock it, it says yes, I know you, but it takes a lot of time for the system to react and turn on the display. I don't know why that is. Then the next feature, we got HSense, so that you get this pressure. You can push the side of the device slowly or strongly, long or short, and then do different tasks with it. Maybe start the camera, activate Google Assistant, and do all those things. This is also a unique feature. Another unique feature, or not a unique feature, but a nice feature, the device is IP67 certified. So you don't have to be afraid of dust or water. This is nice and nice to have. Another thing what's nice to have is that you get Bluetooth 5.0. Yes, one of the few devices, and I guess one of the only, or maybe the only device in this price range that supports already Bluetooth 5.0. I have to say, yes, this is nice, but how often are you connecting the device to two other devices at the same time? We already got the battery discussion. You don't get any improvements out of there because of the small battery. And keep in mind, only USB Type-C, no headphone jack. We already got the discussion. So yes, you get some nice additional features here that other devices don't have. But on this downside, you don't have the headphone jack. And it's only single SIM, no dual SIM. So what I want to tell you at the end of the day, you get some additionally nice features with the HTC U11. But on the other side, you got a lot of points that are equal to other devices or that are worse on the U-Live than on other devices, even though you pay more money. I can understand that you're willing to pay additional money for your Android One. So for the security, that you get Android updates for at least 2 years and that you get security updates for at least 3 years. This is something nice, and I know Android people are here and there frustrated about it. But on the other side, there are also other Android One devices that give you the same update security for way less money, for close to half the price. And in other terms, you get the better camera. Or I don't want to compare it all the time to the Xiaomi Mi A1. We can talk about maybe Honor devices or Lenovo Motorola devices. The whole Moto G5 line costs around 200 to 250 euros and gives you overall nearly identically smartphone experience. Yes, the camera quality is not that good, except you are using the Moto G5 Plus with a 1.7 aperture, which is a nice camera, comparable to this one. But all devices cost less, but on the Lenovo Moto devices you don't get the newest Android devices and security updates. This device already runs Android 8 and got already the January security update, which is really, really nice to have. But now we are talking price. 350 to 380 euros, and so 30 bucks. If you buy the device directly at HTC, you get the bigger version, more storage, and 1 GB more of RAM. And yes, if you have the chance to, if you're going to buy the U11 and you got the chance to get the bigger version for only 30 bucks more, go with the bigger version. It's definitely worth to get double the storage. Yes, definitely. So back to the price thingy. You're paying 100 to 150 euros more for the U11 to get the Android One feeling. Okay, not here, but compared to other devices. You get a better camera, yes, but you get a worse speaker. You get not that nice battery life. Maybe the displays are better on other devices. You get this unique design or unique surface, but on the other hand you get the fingerprints and all the stuff. You don't have a headphone jack, you don't have the possibility to put in an additional SIM card. Yes, it's IP67 approved, and you got Bluetooth 5.0, yes, but the other cases are often not as good as on devices or on comparable devices for 100 or 150 euros less money. And now you're in the price range of 350 euros, for example. And I'm just giving you one example. The Honor 9 costs exactly the same amount. And I would, of course, I like Android One, I like the feeling and like the updates. Yes, one thing that's Huawei and Honor is not as good as in to give you updates and fast updates. But there are so many points that I think the Honor 9 is the better device, because you get better picture quality, you get better battery life, you get better speakers, you get a better build quality, and you also get this nice design, and you also get your fingerprints, but you don't get this plastic feeling. And this is just the first device that came into my mind if I think about a device that costs around 350 to 400 euros. So this is just the thing I want to get into your mind here. And yes, even if the price of the HTC U11 is dropping to 300 euros, make sure to also check the other prices if maybe they dropped as well, and you get just the same discussion, only 50 euros less on every device. So it's still the same, exactly the same discussion, and you should get to the same results. So on last final words for an HTC fan. It's a nice device, but you know the points where you don't have to expect much, especially on the audio front. What about Wi-Fi signal? Wi-Fi signal is not as strong as other devices. GPS, I think it's a little bit weaker than on other devices, but everything else, telephone quality stays the same, in my opinion. Now at the end, I only can recommend the HTC U11 to people that are HTC fans. If you like the design, if you like HTC, then maybe go with it. Every other out there, I can't recommend the device for 350 euros. Even if it goes to 300 euros or even under 300 euros, I wouldn't recommend it. So this is it. Thank you guys for watching, and I see you all in the next video. Bye.